goodness. Another week. Another painfully dull episode of Dynamite.
But JD, it was great. Graps, bro.
Sure. I'm a little over the graps. I need story. I need a reason to care. I don't have it. You know that feeling that they talk about? I'm not feeling it, bro. Not feeling it. I feel it in certain pockets, but I'm not feeling it. I want to be feeling my beverage. That's what I want to be feeling. The Cowboy and the Assassin. Next week. Actually, no, not next week. Double or Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Double or Nothing. And then MJF. He wants in the Hurt Syndicate, but tonight he got bullied. I wonder what's going to happen, man. We're going to talk about it. Another Wednesday is the last stream of the month of April. So we're going to make it a banger, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to the venue. The Dark Horse is about to be parked outside, and when I walk inside, I want to know on this Wednesday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite Post Show for April 30th, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only Chi-Town Smart himself. What's going on, bro? You're day one-ish, huh?
Of course, man.
Okay.
Of course. Anybody pissing off the community, I'm a fan of,
man.
All right, Oos. What's going on,
I
man?
what you mean.
I don't know, man. I got a headache. I'm not in a good mood. Which may make for good content tonight. I don't know, depending on who's in the stream and in the chat tonight. Not feeling good, man. How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I'm a little just blah these days, man. Just,
Yeah.
I just feel really monotonous, you know.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Me too.
You know, like today is Wednesday, time to do this. Gotta watch Collision. Gotta
Not
watch
excited
Dynamite.
about it at all. Pretty bored during the show, man. No excitement, no story. Yeah, same shit.
Yeah, I'm the same way right now, man. I'm just waiting for. It's that after WrestleMania lull. I guess it happens to everyone, man.
Yes, I am still feeling the effects of the WrestleMania lull, the WrestleMania season. It just ended, and I still feel like I haven't caught up on my sleep.
Yep.
I'm not eating the right way. I'm not sleeping the right. I'm not eating at all, really. I have maybe one meal a day. It's usually a nice lunch. Usually skip breakfast. Actually, dinner, and then a light lunch, and then no breakfast. But my sleep schedule's fucked up. I don't get to bed till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
It usually, I don't know about you. That for me, it usually goes in probably into like the next pay-per-view or so. I mean, it just kind of, you just gotta let it all reset, man. Nobody's going hard in the paint anymore. You know, WrestleMania season's over. Everybody's trying to. This is the off season, like these few weeks right now. So,
Bean24 in the chat says Jesse looks sad. Are you sad, bro?
I don't know what is going on with chat tonight. I open the stream, and I open up the chat, and I see like. I see a Tribal Queen is benching people for talking shit about me, and people are defending me. Like, bro, I didn't even say anything. Who's in here just fucking bashing me? I didn't even get on camera yet.
I don't know.
I didn't even do anything, man.
I don't know what's going on.
Off that much.
I don't know what's going on.
Wait till we begin this review, and now I'm gonna look for things that piss people off about.
Good. I like it that way. Dynamite tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The best way for me to put it is, I said it on social media. I think I've made a commitment, Jesse, to myself. All weekend, I maybe tweeted once in like 72 hours. From the end of SmackDown to like Monday or maybe Sunday night while I watched The Last of Us, I maybe made one tweet, and that was to Jose, the assistant. We're still trying to figure out a schedule for the interview. But I made a commitment, bro. I think I'm going to try and really contain myself. And Jesse's told me this numerous times, so I guess I have him to thank here. I may actually finally take his advice. I might not be tweeting, incoherently and just in the moment, because the negativity is fucking garbage on social media, and especially on Wednesdays, bro. I tweeted twice tonight, bro. If I don't like something, I'm not going to tweet it out, man. I'll say something very simple, very basic, maybe one or two liner, and then we come on here and we discuss and we talk about it. We have a good time. That's it.
Yeah, and that's a double win, because something might strike you the wrong way initially, and you didn't tweet about it. So if it took a second to kick in and you actually do like it, you don't have to go online and contradict yourself. You can get your original thought, time to marinate. Then come back with your real thought later on in the review.
Yeah, I like it.
Works out.
Yeah, I like it that way. I think we're going to be doing that, chat. We're not going to be tweeting as much during this show because honestly, there is nothing to really tweet about. The show is just painfully boring. And one of the tweets I put out tonight was everybody's talking about this feeling. I don't know where this feeling is coming from or where people are feeling this feeling or seeing this feeling. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But that feeling that everybody is so desperately wanting to return, I'm not seeing it, Jesse. I'm not really seeing it yet. I'm not feeling it yet. And this show was basically taken up, a good portion of this show was taken up by a 30-minute all-star 8-man tag team match. And we got Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher in the main event, which was fucking great. And then MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, which we'll discuss because that was my favorite part of the show outside the main event. Regardless, bro, of everything I just mentioned, there was literally nothing on this show. I mean, I don't even know what to talk about. Like, what do you want us to talk about? We're with a 30-minute all-star 8-man tag team match, man. What stories were there that we really got to go into and dissect, man? Oh my God, it's gonna go in this direction. It's gonna go in that direction. I mean, right. They are just as fucking simplistic as a fucking second grader, bro. It's like I don't know who finds this entertaining or exciting, but at the end of that tag team match, bro, I was legitimately done with the show.
Yeah, you guys hear us throwing around the term a lot of there being no story. And then some people like to come back, there is story, you're just not paying attention. We see the story. We understand what the story is. So replace there's no story with there is no captivating story.
No.
Okay? There's no story that makes us really want to dig into what we're watching when we see these fantastic wrestling matches. We're just at the end of the day like, okay, I mean, but all of that for this, and we refer back to that storyline that we're not interested in, you know? We get Nick Wayne out there with the patriarchy. You know, there's something going on. We have an idea where it's going. It seems like they're taking a different direction with it. I'm kind of interested to see what Christian Cage's game plan is here. But I'm more interested to see where this is going in terms of, are they trying to turn Christian Cage babyface? That feels odd. Are they trying to turn Nick Wayne babyface? Because that also feels odd. So I'm just not sure where they're going with it. I mean, that's what we mean by, you know, it's the story is just kind of off-putting a little bit, you know?
But what happened tonight in regards to that everybody is like, oh my God, there's story. Like, there was a match that happened for a title that's not an AEW title. So who cares, number one. Number two, the match that was contested for the title consisted of Jay Lethal, who we haven't seen in 18 months? Like, who gives a shit about Jay Lethal? Number two. Number three, they didn't really do much of anything to even forward the story. They did nothing. So what do you want us to talk about? Which direction is it going? And you know, we talked about this last week and the week before that, and we're still in the same position, the same spot, 3 weeks in a row now, with no real progression to the story.
But
so where do you want us to go?
Like that.
I know it's not that's the problem.
Yep. We look at the MJF Hurt Syndicate thing again. We're in the same boat. You know, like 3-4 weeks. What? Nothing has advanced. 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. What next? This. Another thumbs up, another thumbs up, another thumbs down. It's and this is where we can start for the show, like this Hurt Syndicate MJF thing. I think it's run its course. I was hinting at it last week, and they didn't turn a corner this week. I don't need an ending. I don't need a resolution to it, but we need to turn a page here. I mean, we're doing the same thing for the last 3 weeks on this. He's still trying to get in. He's still trying to get in. He's still trying to get in. At least last time it was semi-interesting with him giving up cars and women and everything like that. Nothing happened this time.
I don't even think he wants it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would want in anymore, honestly.
I think he gave his true feelings at the end of his spiel this time. Like, you know what? Fuck you, Bob.
He even tweeted out, he said, all right, Bob, I'll show you. I heard loud and clear. I heard you. Okay. So what does that mean? Some people were insinuating that he may show up and attack Adam Page in the main event. I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't, but that didn't happen. I mean, that could still happen at the pay-per-view. He doesn't really have a clear direction going into Double or Nothing, so we could still possibly get that, with that being the reason why Ospreay goes on to All In and gets the AEW Championship match. I don't know. That's an option. But, you know, we discussed this on TNT last night, me and Solomonster, and he came up with a great idea. And I actually, you know, like this a lot because it eventually, I think we all knew. We've been talking about it for weeks here. It's probably going to lead to a MJF and Bobby Lashley match. Now, I'm not excited about that. To me, I look at it comically as, you know, this is MJF's, you know, I guess audition for working a WWE style match with with someone as you know, like Bobby Lashley. You can't get more WWE style than fucking Bobby Lashley. So it may be, you know, an audition for him come All In when they get in the ring together. So I feel like we're all knowing it's leading to that, but how do we get there? And what is MJF going to do in the meantime before we get there? We talked about, Jesse, that MJF is going to need backup if he's not going to join the Hurt Syndicate, which at this point, I don't know why he would want to, because he's just painfully disrespected and he's being treated like a bitch. Even today, he was treated like a bitch, and I hate seeing that because we know that it is not the MJF that we're accustomed to seeing. So the tag team championships are going to need to be defended. I don't know what's going on. FTR has made mention that they want to go after the tag team championships. They want to get back to their old form. They dumped Copeland. They're moving on. They got Stokely. If FTR is going to be positioned as the next in line for the tag team championships, it would make sense if Stokely, who has history with MJF, FTR, who has history with MJF, they get back together. And the words tonight by Bobby Lashley, you want to earn my trust? You want to make an impact? Then hurt someone. So I honestly think, and I told you tonight via text, what if that person that MJF hurts is Bobby Lashley and he just gets his boys and they do damage and we get FTR Hurt Syndicate at the pay-per-view for the tag team championships, and this eventually leads to MJF and Bobby Lashley at All In, and we get, some six-man action. We get some faction warfare here between the two groups, because that's exactly what the Hurt Syndicate needs. They need some competition. They need someone to stand up to them, which right now nobody has been able to do that. If MJF gets himself, aligned with FTR and Stokely, that could be the first real threat to the Hurt Syndicate's tag team championships, because I know you and I talked about this all the time. There is nobody, and it's better off them than AEW just manufacturing a fucking tag team and just randomly throwing two guys together to say, hey, this is who we're throwing out there against the Hurt Syndicate, and that's what you're going to get. I would rather it be someone that solidified themselves and that has some history together, and someone like FTR, MJF, I think that's a great combo.
Yeah, so here's the thing I don't think anybody's thinking about over there. When you look at MJF and you look at all of the effort that he is putting into trying to get into the Hurt Syndicate, he could have put less effort into just getting his title back by now. He's going through a lot. He's giving up cars, women, and jewelry. And I think Bobby is getting that diamond ring. But all of this when he can just win. He does not suck. I don't understand why he feels he needs the Hurt Syndicate this bad. I mean, he's wasting weeks, money, jewelry, cars. Why? Just to get into a group where one guy clearly does not even like him. And that guy is the leader of the group. Why?
Yeah, he really hasn't explained why he wants in so badly. I think that's the one thing that's missing here. MJF has not said why he needs and why he wants to be in the Hurt Syndicate. The only thing he says, he wants to get his Triple B back, and he wants to take the back door in and ease himself back into that with the alignment of the Hurt business or the Hurt Syndicate. But like you said, and it makes perfect sense, he probably would have went into the tournament and had a better time or an easier time going out there and doing what he does best, and that's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling.
This is not the easy road. As a matter of fact, when was the last time MJF actually even wrestled?
I don't know. Hangman Page?
It's not like the guy's putting in work and he's
Revolution.
I mean, what? Is he, come on, man. Does he have a bump counter? What? That the guy should be wrestling. I don't get it. I don't understand where the story is going with the Hurt Syndicate. I understand I don't have to know where a story is going to enjoy it, but I'm just worried that the conclusion is going to make us really hate the journey. And that's happened so many times here in AEW. I just don't want it to happen again. At the end of the day, when this story is said and done, I feel like we're going to look back and say, all of that for this? What was the point of all of that?
If he joins the Hurt Syndicate, it's going to be like, all right, MJF aligning himself with the Hurt Syndicate. He's a babyface. He's going to be doing what exactly? What is he going to be doing? Is he going to be wrestling tags? Is he going to be wrestling singles? Is he going to be looking at them to help him cheat to win? Like, I don't know. I don't understand what the whole premise of this is. And if he doesn't join and he does what I would hope he does, because he's MJF and he's a dick, and that's the reason why we love him, he attacks Bobby Lashley because of all the weeks of just disrespect, and he just gets his own boys and does battle against the Hurt Syndicate. And then they really do hurt people. They kind of live up to what Bobby wants, and he just hurts Bobby Lashley with FTR and Stokely Hathaway. I mean, there's literally no in between.
I don't get it. Like, why all of the effort to get into the Hurt Syndicate just to join FTR?
All of the comedy that we've seen has reached its peak. Him trying to get in, the comedy that we've seen, the hose, the cars, the one-liners, the reactions, everything has peaked with him trying to get in. It's not going to get better with him actually in the group. Him actually in the group may actually kill the fucking vibe and the story of this, because we've reached that point where it's like, all right, man, a decision needs to be made. If he's in, it's not going to be as special. And if he's out, at least there's a chance of some continuity there and getting MJF back to the position that he should be in as a top guy, as a heel, and just doing whatever he needs to do like he used to do to get back what he deserves, you know?
So if the Hurt Syndicate decides to just screw him over and stiff him here, and they all just beat him down and kick him out, MJF looks like a schmuck. All right? If they let him in, he joins, the whole dynamic, the whole relationship of the Hurt Syndicate and MJF is already on thin ice. We already know how much one guy loves him, one guy is kind of neutral, don't care either way, and the other guy hates him. So how are we supposed to have him join, and then we supposed to feel like there is this smooth dynamic when we knew that it was like pulling teeth to even get him in there? Usually when you get a faction, the faction comes together, there's great times, they win championships, everything harmonizes, and then when the run is about over, then you start seeing the seams and the cracks, and they start to split apart. We're getting seams and cracks in the Hurt Syndicate on day one. It feels like this faction just really got together, and now they're already not on the same page on who should and should join and everything like that. Lashley has kind of outed himself as being the one that people are trying to get on. I don't like this. They just formed. They should still be hurting people rather than having this inner turmoil. The Hurt Syndicate should be a well-oiled unit at this stage of their run.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about long-term here. MJF, Bobby Lashley is probably what they're going for at All In. I mean, they haven't done much of anything else. I mean, we as a sidebar, we could still see MJF and Adam Page. That's probably not going to happen, but, you know, I do think that they will cross paths again at some point after their one and only match at Revolution. I think MJF and Bobby Lashley are destined for Texas. I do think that FTR will take the tag team championships from the Hurt Syndicate. I do think that Cedric Alexander is going to end up joining them and making them a true three-piece group. MVP is not going to end up wrestling. I think that would be awful. I do think that FTR will take the tag team championships from Hurt Syndicate at Double or Nothing, take them into Texas, and then drop them to Christian and Copeland. And I don't know how we even get to that point. I mean, that's going to be even more difficult to kind of make sense of, because they are just on two completely different wavelengths, and we don't want to deviate away from the Christian Cage character right now because it's the best character work that he's done maybe ever in his career. So I do think that they are setting up for that match. The Christian and Copeland match against FTR for the tag team championships. Bobby Lashley and MJF at All In. I don't know where else. I don't know where else we go here. You know, I've enjoyed it for the most part because it's the one thing that has at least given us a sense of consistency, Jesse, on a week-to-week basis. It's been the one thing that has actually had some continuity to it, whether it's the hose or the car or whatever the case may be. You know, one week it's one segment, some weeks it's multiple segments. I like the fact that it's continuing on a week-to-week basis. Is it slow? Yes. Does it painfully need a payoff to wherever it's going? Yes. But I like the fact that it's been the one story on AEW television that's been consistent over several weeks. And I honestly think that, and I said this with Jason last night, when you ask MJF to go out there and literally do anything, he kills it. Babyface, he did a great job. Heel, he's fucking tremendous. You want him to sports entertain like he did here, like he did with the fucking dance number with Chris Jericho, like he breaks out into a fucking song. The guy knows how to sports entertain. He's just a talented fucking guy. He does everything right. But I look at it and I enjoy it. But I always come back to the same thought of, man, he needs more to do because he's their fucking ace. He's still their ace. He's the one guy that I always look to, him, Paige, Ospreay, even Swerve now, to where he's positioned himself. Those guys are the real true Omega. Those guys are the real true feeling of AEW. And I just feel like AEW takes them for granted. I feel like AEW just does as little as possible and just does the one thing that they feel like they do best, and that's offer professional wrestling. If they positioned all these guys in the right way, man, they'd be unstoppable. And right now, none of these guys are where they should be, and everybody just feels the fucking same. I don't feel that feeling. I don't get a sense of that feeling, and everybody is just coming off less than what they really should be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it feels like they had a plan, and they have an ending, but I feel like they didn't really have a middle. I feel like they have two pieces of bread, and they just kind of want to just ad-lib the actual sandwich. You know, I mean, they're trying to get us to whatever ending that they already have, predetermined. But my God, the last few weeks, bro, we're just spinning our wheels.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It makes it a painful watch. It makes it a painfully dull watch. And then people are like, oh, the feeling is back, and they've been consistent with television, and Collision did 700,000 in the rate. I'm like, give me a break, guys. Give me a break. I don't know what the fuck you're watching or where you're watching, but I don't know where this feeling is coming from.
See, you gotta stay off social media, man. I
know.
heard nothing of this.
Well, because you've been off.
I've not heard anybody talking about that because I'm not on it. So that is horse crap. I mean, trust me, I've been sitting right here on day one with you talking about that feeling that AEW has had, and that has not been here in years.
No,
right? The little bit of a stint that we got a few weeks back or a couple of months back, that's not it. We need more than a few good episodes, man.
Yeah. So that's to me, that was also the biggest takeaway. I mean, the MJF and Hurt Syndicate storyline to me has been the best thing on the show for a few weeks now. But yes, we both feel the same way. It definitely needs that next layer because it's been the same for at least the last 3 weeks. I don't know if he's going to ask for the ring or not. I'm surprised he hasn't done that already. I don't know what the ring would do for Bobby Lashley. I mean, I guess the ring in MJF's sense is that he's held the ring for 5 years, and he's battled for the right to the ring for 5 years. So to give that up, I would say is a little hard to swallow for MJF. But we're going to need more than that. We're going to need more than just a fucking ring, You know what
I would do? Now we just said that out loud. So I would bring the ring into play. But we're not just going to give it to Lashley. What we're going to do is we're going to have Max give up the ring for collateral. We're going to bring you into the Hurt Syndicate. You do your job, you do your job well, everything works out, you'll have your ring. You dick us over, we're confiscating it. You're not getting it back. Now, the thing is, we know how much that ring means to him. So that is incentive for him to, play it by the book and not to dick anybody over because he wants his ring back.
I like that.
That's what I would do. It is something that we know means a lot to him, so we feel like he's being fake.
But don't you think that means? But don't you think that makes MJF feel a little weak, though?
They've already done that.
Just giving. I mean, you don't want to make it worse. You don't want to make it worse.
MJF is giving up Corvettes, watches, girls. He's already simping to the Hurt Syndicate. I wouldn't have led with that. But it seems like they're trying to make sense of this. I mean, maybe they can do this. I would have done this a different way entirely. But they've already opened up this Pandora's box of MJF looking weak. So there's a next progression in it right there.
We will see. It needs a payoff. It needs something quick. And I don't know where that's going to come from and when it's going to come. So regardless of all those negatives, I feel like it's been the most consistent thing on AEW television. The one thing I also did like outside of that was the Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher match. We could sit here and say over and over again how great, both guys are from an in-ring aspect. They are tremendous. Adam Page is tremendous. Kyle Fletcher is tremendous. That's no secret to anybody that watches the show on a weekly basis. But at the start of the tournament, it was a little predictable. I think the opening round matches were a little predictable. You knew where people were going to land. You knew the outcomes of the matches. Tony has this thing where we want something as far as the tournaments to just be loaded with stars, and he does maybe half of that. So when he does only half of that, he makes most of the tournament predictable. Most of the tournament up until the finals here for both the men and the women have been predictable. Now the finals in each tournament, Jesse, is surprisingly unpredictable because I don't know where they are going to go. It's more predictable in the women's match than it is the men's, but at least both matches do offer a little bit of unpredictability. Now, Kyle Fletcher and Adam Page were the main event tonight. Adam Page won tonight. I think everybody watching kind of sensed that Adam Page was going to win because there is absolutely no sense. It makes no sense why Kyle Fletcher would win this and then go to Double or Nothing and lose again to Will Ospreay. That would be what? 0-4, 0-5? I mean, that would be ridiculous. So Adam Page and Will Ospreay now is the final at Double or Nothing in Phoenix. And that is a tremendous match. That's going to be such a great match. I'm looking forward to that a lot. And it does offer a sense of unpredictability, and we'll start with that. The men's match, it could obviously swing either way. I think a lot of people are thinking Ospreay, and I think the people that have been emotionally invested in the Hangman character, like you and I, were pulling for Page. I think Page and Moxley, that could be great. The Cowboy in Texas wins the World Championship. You know, I don't know where Swerve fits into that. They've had a little bit of a dynamic the last few weeks or so. Not really much has been said since, but I do think that they will eventually go back to that. Where do you see this playing out? I'm thinking they go Ospreay, and I think they do Ospreay Moxley, and they crown Ospreay in Arlington because, I mean, it's just long overdue. I think everybody looks at him as the ace, the world champion. But, man, I'm pulling for Hangman here, and I would love to see that payoff in Texas for him to end Moxley and win the world championship.
Yeah, so that is the one thing I am happy about as far as long-term booking, that they've managed to not give Will Ospreay the world title yet.
Yeah.
And at this point, I mean, I'm in no hurry to give it to him because the longer they wait now, the more exciting it'll be, the more important it'll be. You know, it can be his unicorn at this point. We all know that he's big enough to be world champion, but for the love of Christ, something keeps happening to stop him from getting where we all know he's going to be. So when he finally does get there and it's the right opponent and the right time and the right moment, that moment is going to be huge for them. Finally, Will Ospreay finally captures it. You know, they have to lay into that moment at this point because for all intents and purposes, one would think he would have been champion by now because they love just, you know, just pulling the trigger on things like that the first second they get. They've managed to not do that. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with doing it at All In Texas, man. That is their biggest show. That'll be the time to do it. If they didn't, I would understand going with Hangman, you know. And at that point, if it's not happening for Will at All In, then I'm gonna make it wait even longer. I'm going to make it wait even longer and then make it a big thing and make it part of a big story. And the fans will fucking cry watching him win that first world title when he finally does. It'd be a great moment.
Yeah, I don't know where they go with Page if he loses. Like I said, the sense of unpredictability here is a little bit more on the men's side than it is the women. Ospreay could win it. He goes to All In. He takes down Jon Moxley. I think everybody's looking forward to seeing that happen and thinks that's going to happen. Page, if he ends up losing, I could see MJF getting involved because last week it was basically MJF and Page again face-to-face, and he said that Page is going to do what he does best, and that is lose the big one and basically choke when it counts most. So we could see MJF interfere in the match and cost Adam Page the match. I don't know where that leaves Swerve going into All In. I think the rumor was that Swerve and Page were probably going to join forces, and they were going to battle the Young Bucks, who we haven't really seen or heard from as far as an explanation as to why they helped Jon Moxley and hurt Swerve's chances of becoming the champion. Dynasty, we haven't gotten any continuity in that. We have no explanation. They just seemingly dropped it out of nowhere. I don't know where it's going. I'm just very confused as far as that aspect is concerned. But I'm pulling for Paige. I think Ospreay is the guy that everybody expects to win. But if they went with Paige in Texas, I'm not going to complain at all, as I do think that Paige honestly should have won the championship last year. I've said this many times on this show. Paige should have won the title last year at All In. And it should have been against Swerve. Or if not, he should have ended Bryan. And he should have been the one to take down Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream and sent him out to retirement. But we got none of those things. And now we're back again, and we're this close. Is Tony going to realize the mistakes that he made last year and finally pay us off with Paige this year? I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. But a tremendous main event between Paige and Kyle Fletcher. The ladies, we didn't get any women's matches tonight outside Toni Storm, and we got a nothing match out of it. And then we got a stare down or I guess confrontation between Mercedes and Tony. They want you to believe that Mercedes is going to All In to wrestle Toni Storm. And I think we both know that more than likely that is going to happen, Jesse. But they're giving Jamie Hayter a little bit of a chance here. They're not burying her completely on the way there. We still got several weeks to go. But like
to bury her.
Yeah, to bury her, basically. But you and I have discussed this. Until we see it happen, there is absolutely no reason to believe that Mercedes is not going to All In. And the women, I want to say there is a dose of unpredictability there because we could potentially see Athena. And if AEW wanted to do the right thing, they could have Athena interfere in the match with Mercedes and Jamie Hayter. And Athena gets Mercedes back for cheating in their semifinals match. And we get that build going into Texas. And we get Jamie Hayter going against Toni Storm. And then at All In, we get Mercedes and Athena for the TBS title. And we get Toni versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Championship. Those would be the two big women's matches at Globe Life Field. I don't think they're going to do that because, again, there's no reason to believe otherwise. That is a possibility, but we haven't seen Athena. We haven't heard from Athena. We haven't seen Billy Starks. We haven't had anything come out of that match at all. Nothing has been said. She's almost like a fucking ghost. So what else are we to believe when it comes to Mercedes?
The OTS Tribal Queen says, like, how is she not buried? She fucking called Mercedes, called her the Scooby-Doo character tonight. That pretty much, she's not wrong, man.
I mean, everybody calls her a Scooby-Doo character.
Yeah, but don't lean into it. Don't make it so blatantly obvious. She could have came out and said that her character was an inspiration of X. But now we already know exactly what it is, and they're calling it out themselves. Makes it even worse.
Ready?
You know, I mean, pretty much, man.
How is anybody excited about this, bro? How is anybody excited about this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna keep picking Mercedes to win until she loses. But I will say this: if we get to Mercedes versus Toni Storm, I'll consider picking Toni Storm to win that one, only by the sense of, okay, so when Mercedes came in, she came in with a lot of hype. Turns out she was nowhere near the best female wrestler in the company. Some time has passed, and it did not go well. I mean, but it didn't get drastically worse. She's leveled out a little bit, did Mercedes. The hate that she was getting and everything like that, that's kind of fizzled a little bit. She has not gotten to the point where people expect her. She's not gotten to the point where she's getting paid. But she is up there in the women's division. But there is one woman above her, clearly above her, and that is Toni Storm. Toni Storm is the top of the women's division. There is no debate about it. So if we get them in the ring, one-on-one, I don't know anymore. I don't know. Toni Storm could be the one hand chosen to finally beat her.
I do not think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I got a question, chat. Where is Megan Bain? Did she just seemingly fall off the face of the earth?
No, she's right here, bro. She's in the corner.
She's doing what? Is she eating lobster rolls with Joey Janela?
I can't tell you. I will let you know when we get to 1,000 thumbs up.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, so she was on Saturday, huh?
I'm not saying.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what good. Listen, they're heavily teasing it. You know, Tony Khan is in dream match mode because he wants this show to be the biggest ever. But I don't know what good it does for the division. Does anybody have a good answer? Because if Mercedes and Toni Storm are wrestling and Mercedes becomes the AEW Women's Champion, are we just going to give up the TBS Championship? Is there going to be a tournament for it or fucking gauntlet match? What's going to happen with the TBS title? She's going to give up one for the other. She can't defend both of them. So what is she going to do? How is this good for the division with her holding 5 belts? I don't understand what the logic. I don't know what the vision is here. Is the vision for a better women's division, or is the vision for Mercedes to just rule them all and not give back to anybody? What is it? Is she going to give back to anybody? Does she have someone in mind she wants to give back to? I thought she was giving back to an entire division, Jesse. At this point, she may give back to only one, and what good is that going to do? I don't see it.
This is one of those things. I don't know where it's going, and it's frustrating trying to figure out where it could go. It's not one of those things where, I'm excited to see where it goes. No, this is one of those things where I'm kind of worried to see where they're going to go with it. Because a couple of these options seem really bad, and it doesn't seem like something that they would run away from. They would run right towards. I don't know where they're going with this, but Mercedes always wins. I mean, is their mantra right now? So I don't know. But I would not have Mercedes beat Toni Storm. They can have Mercedes, run through and bury everybody. They got Toni Storm out burying the Indies right now. So they're just biding their time so they can get her to Mercedes, I guess. I don't know. So
doesn't really offer any excitement doing that either.
No, I mean,
listen. Mercedes is a fantastic wrestler. Everybody knows this. And this is my opinion only. I just don't see how this is helping AEW's women's division. I don't. Like, how are you as a fan okay with this? I don't understand what the end goal here is. It reminds me of as we see people leave WWE, Jesse, and they make these fucking loose leaf paper fucking dream match lists. Everybody did it. Like they want to wrestle whoever they can, and they want to get their matches in before they move on to the next chapter of their career. This feels like the Mercedes Moné World Tour, and everybody that she wanted to wrestle, they're giving her to wrestle, and she's blowing through all of them. So when she gets to Toni Storm and beats Toni Storm and wins the women's championship, what is next? Who is going to step up and take her down? She's beaten everybody. And when she does, it will probably be one of the women who she's beat multiple times already, Statlander. And what is that going to do for somebody like Statlander? Nothing. What is that going to do? Unless there's a story there and really, really major, implications as far as story and just getting Stat to the next level. They gotta put everything into whoever that person is going to be. I don't see them doing that. I don't even think they're capable of doing that. So what exactly are we doing here? The division is basically handcuffed by Mercedes, and nobody gives a shit. How does anybody in that women's division look at this as a good thing? Can someone reach out to me and tell me what the fuck they're thinking? I don't see it. Is it going to be a great match? It'll be great. That's exactly what we're expecting. But nobody's looking at what happens after the great match. What comes next? Who's next?
I guess they're all happy because when Britt Baker was there running the locker room, everybody had a problem. Everybody had a complaint. Everybody had a complaint about Britt and what she was doing. Well, now Mercedes is back. Everybody's kind of quiet. I guess everything's hunky-dory.
Sure.
I guess they're all enjoying their.
Everybody's staying quiet because once they speak up and Mercedes sees them, she's like, "Oh, I haven't wrestled you, Tony. Let's get this match together so I can beat somebody else." And then whoever's in the locker room gets trotted out there, and goodbye. Another win for Mercedes. That's all it is.
Basically,
I don't know. I mean, it's a problem. It's becoming worse. We're not getting any better, but those are the two matches scheduled for Double or Nothing. And we will definitely get into the rest of this post show. I don't think we're going to go long tonight because, honestly, there wasn't a lot that happened on this show. And we just talked about two of the major points on this entire program tonight. But we will definitely get into the rest of the show. And I want to thank you guys for joining us right here on the AEW Dynamite Post Show for April 30th, 2025. This is the last stream of April. This has been an unbelievable month. As far as numbers for the channel, second best month in the history of the channel, period. But it's the second best April ever, as last April was the best ever. So thank you guys very much. And that April last year, a lot of that had to do with Dwayne being back, and this year he was not back. So imagine if he was actually on the shows this year. That would have been something else. But thank you guys for all the support, man. We just hit 170,000 subscribers. We're already halfway to 171,000 subscribers. So continue the support, man. It is unbelievable to see the growth of the channel this month. And I appreciate everything you guys have done this month and this year. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to bullshit, you want to chat with us, grab a seat, grab a beverage. And Jesse and I will hang out at the end of the show. Thumbs up. 1,000 likes is the goal for Collision Corner. So if you guys want Collision Corner, make sure you guys get those thumbs up in. And right now we're at 552, 1,000. And Jesse and I immediately stop what we're doing and we break into Collision Corner. So that is the goal for you guys tonight. Go follow us on social media at JDfromNY206, at Chi-Town Smark. Also, you guys know where to subscribe here right down below. Go follow Jesse on YouTube as well. His link and YouTube channel are linked down below at the top of the description. And what else do we got? Any content you guys missing? TNT this week, tremendous. Monday Night Raw on Monday, tremendous. Go check that stuff out. On the homepage if you guys want extra content this week from yours truly. Jesse, what's going on with the channel on your end?
I had a slow week this week, man. I had some family issues. Didn't get to my watch along this week. But we'll be picking up where we left off, I believe, this Friday. And me and you got to talk about something that we are possibly going to be working on down the road. So.
Yeah. Something cool.
Be big.
Something cool. As long as I have time for it, I'm in.
We'll get it together.
Anyway, guys, those are the things. Go check them out and go support wherever you can. And like I said, super chats are open, so get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Dynamite started off not with story, but with graps. 30 minutes, Jesse, an all-star 8-man tag team match. No funds, no money on the line. I guess Tony ran out of money. Last time we saw a tag team match, it was $400,000. And tonight, I guess he wanted to be cheap. So no money on the line here. But Kenny Omega, Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, who's the new flavor of the month here for AEW, and Mark Briscoe against the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, and Ricochet. Big 8-man tag team match that they labeled an all-star 8-man tag team match. Now, there are feuds in this 8-man tag, Jesse. We got Kenny and Okada, Kenny and the Bucks. So we got something there. No dialogue. It's just pairing all these feuds together and putting them in a big tag team match. So there is tension there. There is ongoing issues between those four men. Ricochet, Speedball, Ricochet, Kevin Knight, there's issues there. Mark Briscoe seems to be the odd one out here, bro. He doesn't really have an issue with much of anybody here. Maybe Ricochet, I guess. But there are issues here. There are tensions here. And Tony figured instead of writing compelling stories and something that forwards us from this week into next week, he just figured let's throw everybody in the same match together and graps. Wrestling, man. That's basically the name of the game here. 30 minutes of a spot fest. This was as indie could be. We got all the indie-rific spots. We got all the fucking comedy spots that the Young Bucks usually do to try and generate a reaction, and I don't really give a shit. I don't find it funny. What'd you think of this 8-man tag, bro? I mean, everybody in this match obviously can wrestle, but to me, the interest levels from me were basically at a 0 here, bro. I would rather story than 30 minutes of an 8-man tag team match that basically went nowhere.
Look, I would rather they start off with some story as well. But what did I think about the match? I thought the match was fun.
The match was fun, yes.
I thought the match was fun, man.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, everybody engaged in this match, they can all go. And not only that, they all had some pretty good chemistry in the match itself. So if I'm going to look at the match in a vacuum, just look at it, alone by itself, this was fun. This could have been the main event or kick off the show. I will say this, though. If we're going to kick off the show, I don't think we need 30 minutes.
No.
All right? Not to start the fucking show. So if we're going to start off with a match like this, it can go ahead and close the show. Sure, it can kill the last half hour of the show with some action like this. It'd be great. So if I'm just looking at it, by itself, this was fun, man. The Bucks, I know everybody hates them, and they're not lighting up the world for me either. But when the bell rings, they can keep you engaged, and this was fun. And this time they have some new toys to play with, and Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, and they took advantage of it. And we got to see Okada and Omega square off, get hands on each other a little bit. There's probably no real reason to keep them away from each other and never touch. They've fucking fought many a times. We all know the lore. So we got a little bit of a tease in that and got a little of a moment build. And the match was fun. But this is not a great way to start off the show if you don't have anything to support it, because after a while, it's just too much wrestling to start the show.
It's way too much wrestling. Nothing. They need to set the tone. I don't know how many times I could sit here and repeat myself, and nobody there is going to listen because they think that they know best, and we don't know anything. And what we do here every week is we offer constructive criticism. I truly believe that. And we've said this time and time and time again. AEW has a problem with just doing the one thing that we know that they do well, and that's deliver pro wrestling. If you scale back on the pro wrestling and do it, when you need to, and not just over and over and over again in abundance, and just beat the fucking viewer over the head with great graps and 30-minute tag team. Bro, I don't want to sit here and watch 30 minutes of tag team wrestling. I don't want to watch 30 minutes of anything in a particular match on basic fucking weekly television. Save that shit for the pay-per-views. When a story is reaching its climax, when we got a culmination of tensions and fucking issues and dialogue, we got nothing. Every single week, it's just, let's throw guys out there randomly to give us a great wrestling match. Jesse says fun, and yes, he's correct. It is fun. These guys are great at what they do. Me personally, I could say it's fun. I'm tired of fun, bro. I'm tired of fun. I'm tired of the fucking wrestling. I am beat to death. Beat over the head to death with pro wrestling, man. I need something to care about, and there's nothing to care about here. WWE, I don't want to compare the two, but I'm gonna do it. And I say this every time in regards to AEW. WWE doesn't do this often either, but they did it on Monday. We got a 2.5-hour show long storyline with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and Sami Zayn. Started the show off. They did the middle, and then we got the climax in the end, and we got the conclusion. You build something of a story between the beginning, the middle, and the end, and you give people a reason to watch. Great pro wrestling match in the beginning, great pro wrestling match in the end, and that's what they call a great week of pro wrestling. Bro, I need story.
Yeah.
They have a roster of 8,000, and obviously that's a joke, but they have a bloated fucking roster. And you mean to tell me you can't write a storyline that takes you from beginning, middle to end with what's going on right now in AEW? Like, I don't understand why they are so lazy when it comes to that type of thing. These shows have no fucking flow. These shows have no substance. There's no meaning. They just throw these 8 guys out there and expect everybody to give a shit because they're all great pro wrestlers. Meanwhile, we know at the end of the day that they're all great pro wrestlers coming in and coming out. I need more. That's my problem.
Yeah. So there's normally a pretty basic format, for a TV show. You start off the show addressing your main event storyline. All right. Your top guys come out, say what they got to say in regards to the top storyline. All right. they go into commercial or wherever they come out, it's time for the first match. That's where you start your mid-card stuff. And you build from the start of the opening storyline, and then the matches, and then the mid-card stuff into the top of the hour should be your top mid-card storyline. Patriarchy, something like that. You know, you come out there with Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, something like that. Then there may be another, mid-card, version 2 storyline. Then some matches at the end of the show, main event match, and then you close out the storyline that you started the show with. And then that story should be, breadcrumbed in between and everything else. I mean, it's a pretty standard format. You stick to that, and you will pretty much get a solid show, because we know the wrestling will be great. You'll keep us interested with the storyline, because you're going to start with the story, give us some wrestling. Commentary will keep us apprised on what's going on with that story. Other story, matches, main event, and then give us something to bleed into next week. At the end of the show, what happened to make us say, oh my God, I got to watch next week? And then you rinse and repeat. Tweak it a little bit here and there, but the format basically stays the same. They don't do it that way.
No.
They do it a little bit differently, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with their pacing on how they want to do it, and it's just not as entertaining. Again, you just said about how, you didn't find the match fun and this and that. I think that could have a little bit to do with the WrestleMania hangover, but not all of it, because it is getting kind of monotonous at the same time.
Why couldn't they take the MJF and Hurt Syndicate stuff and just play it out through the entire show? Like, give me something fun with Bobby Lashley showing up in the fucking parking lot with the car, and MJF waiting out there, and him talking to MVP about what had happened. Where'd he take the car? What'd he do with the car? Where'd he go with the car? Something. And MJF wanting to know what the vibe is this week with MVP and Bobby and Shelton. Like, what's going to happen tonight? Did you talk to him? How's he feeling about me? This and that. And just build it throughout the entire show instead of just waiting for an hour and 10 minutes in, and then we get it, and then it's one segment, and then on to the next. Like, you got characters here, you got story, you got substance, and then they do nothing with it to make it feel important. Give people a reason to watch. When you watch a show, there's a beginning, and you get invested, and you wonder what's going to happen next, and then there's a middle, and then you wait for the climax in the end. I don't understand. Like, I just watched The Last of Us, episode 2 here for season 2. Now, I played the game. I know Joel was going to die. I know, but we know what Joel did at the end of the fucking game in part 1, in season 1. We know who was hunting him and wanted to get revenge. And look at what they did in that episode, too. We got Joel and the person that was trying to kill Joel randomly come together. They started off looking for Joel. Then in the middle of the show, she finds Joel. In the middle of the show, she takes Joel back to the fucking camp that they were holed up in. And then by the end of the show, he's dead. I mean, you got to give me something, bro. You got to give me story. What is this? What the fuck is this? Why do I need to see Speedball doing a crane kick? And why do I need to see the Young Bucks play up the fact that Ricochet is bald? What are we doing here, man?
Yeah. We kind of chuckled.
Maybe Jesse, maybe this show's not for us anymore. I don't fucking know, man. Maybe we're just too smart for this fucking community and too smart for this show. Honestly.
Yeah. So we kind of chuckled at it a bit when WWE did it originally, years upon years ago. But maybe some Hollywood writers might not be a bad idea for AEW. I still don't think it was a good idea for WWE, because it's just not the same kind of product. They already do sports entertainment well. They can work on a few other things, but Hollywood writers for AEW might not be a bad idea, man. I think if you take the structure that they would all normally use, because they're Hollywood writers, and apply it to the pro wrestling that AEW has, I think they will get such a better television show.
Man, if they hired writers, bro, can you imagine if they were in sync and in tuned and learned who the characters were on this show, and then they
Yes,
began to
exactly.
write for them, and then we get fucking episodic like you said it best a couple weeks ago. They book a new show every fucking week. Something from, the weeks prior may be continuing, but it's basically, majority, I would say 70% of the show is a brand new show every fucking week with absolutely nothing that goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they can definitely use a little bit of a format change. I think if they got some Hollywood writers, had them sit down, at quite a few meetings with the talent, some of the senior talent, get a better feel for how they talk and how they act and what they do, watch the shows, get a feel for how the crowd interacts with them. I think they would finally get a nice little feel about who they're writing for and give us some good storytelling, man. Because whatever they're doing now, it's just not working.
No, it's not working. Like Jesse said, this was fun, but man, this really went nowhere. Omega and Okada, they were in this match. They did the best to keep them apart. There was a little interaction there in the beginning, and then a little interaction near the end when the match came to its conclusion, and that's it. Like Jesse said, I mean, these guys wrestled 4 different fucking times. What is it going to do if they mix it up for a minute or two here and show us a little bit of what we're going to expect in Texas? I don't know what the big deal was, but they felt like, let's keep it on the down low. Let's not have them touch. I mean, in this match, you're going to have those 2 guys in this chaos not cross paths and not touch at all. I mean, give me a break, bro. I mean, you're really trying way too hard there. And like I said, the Bucks and where they're going with Omega, we don't really know. We didn't see any swerve on this show at all. He's got a problem with the Bucks. Nothing. It was just throw these guys out there and have them wrestle. No swerve. Nothing regarding the Bucks and him chasing the Bucks down. It's buck hunting season. We got none of that this way. I guess he was closed for business tonight. I don't know. So
Yeah.
So we'll pick it up here towards the end. You got all the indie-rific stuff. The Bucks playing with Ricochet being bald, and we got Speedball doing the crane kick, and Kevin Knight out there doing his gymnastic routine. It was all over the place, and it popped the crowd. They were happy with what they seen, but me, I'm going to need a little bit more, man. We'll pick it up here towards the end. So Omega played up to the crowd. He went for a one-winged angel, I believe, on Okada, and he shifted into a Snapdragon. Omega played up to the crowd and went for a V-trigger, but Okada drop-kicked him. Bucks landed stereo super kicks to Omega. All 8 guys are in the ring. Nick and Ricochet leapt off the top rope and drop-kicked the backs of Briscoe and Omega as Okada and Matt delivered tombstones. And then they senton splashed onto Speedball and Kevin Knight. Ricochet came back with a running flip dive to ringside. Briscoe gave a J Driller to Okada. Ricochet broke that cover up. Kevin Knight dropkicked Ricochet off of Speedball's shoulders, and then Ricochet landed onto the Bucks at ringside. Omega landed a running flip dive onto everybody at ringside, doing his Terminator dive. Briscoe gave Okada a Death Valley driver. He set up a top rope move, probably looking for Froggy Bow, but Ricochet shoved him off the top rope, and Okada caught Briscoe with a Rainmaker for the 1, 2, 3. Man, Mark Briscoe in this match and every other match and every other tournament, Jesse, just to take an L. He hangs out with the big guns, bro, but never is considered a big gun, is Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, he is definitely the eater of pins.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's where Brody King is.
Yeah, I guess I don't mind it as much because I enjoy watching him wrestle. I don't expect him to win and be world champion. And if there's anyone that needs to take an L, sure, I guess so. I mean, but how long does that last before you just don't even want to see the guy anymore, though?
I mean, I've given up caring. I don't care about when Mark Briscoe wrestles. He's a great wrestler. We love Mark Briscoe, but has he done anything that speaks importance? No. No. Has he done anything that says, oh, man, I got to see Mark Briscoe wrestle? No. Nothing. Hurt Syndicate, they are backstage, and they were greeted by 5 geeks who were singing, "We hurt people, we hurt people." Like these guys were just, these guys were just like comically fucking embarrassing. MVP said, "Yeah, hey man, thanks. That's fun to say, but it's even better to do it to people." So they attacked these 5 guys. Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley took care of these guys. Bobby Lashley even threw one of them into what looked to be a laundry basket, and they got taken out pretty easily. Now, Jesse, the Hurt Syndicate is a pretty serious group. Why the comedy spot here and these guys just standing around singing fucking "We hurt people," and then, you know, it comes off in a very comedic and lowbrow way for them being a serious group, man. What'd you think of that?
I don't know. What yahoos do you have hanging out backstage that know who the Hurt Syndicate is and thought that they would enjoy these guys sitting around in the group, sitting there just heckling them like this? I mean, I don't know. It just felt kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm still trying to figure out what dynamic to put the Hurt Syndicate in. I mean, again, we're just gonna call them tweeners because that's what they feel like. But the more they deal with MJF, the more I'm trying to figure out what their dynamic is. The crowd is gonna want to cheer them no matter what they do, so they're gonna be stuck in tweener land for a while. I can't see them being just straight up heels or faces. So I'm trying to figure out if beating these guys up was something that the Hurt Syndicate would do. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how they would normally go about doing them these things. You know what I'm saying? So them beating up some random dudes backstage. Okay, they hurt people. They literally hurt people. They should be heels. You know, but they're gonna bring in MJF. MJF's gonna dick them over. Won't that make the Hurt Syndicate baby faces at that point, though? Yes. That's where I'm getting confused.
I don't know. I thought this was, I don't know why we're taking the Hurt business or the Hurt Syndicate, who's a serious group, and we're throwing 5 geeks out there to sing a cappella. We hurt people. Like, bro, come on. This is the best that you come up with during these creative meetings? Why was this necessary? You couldn't just show them showing up in the new car and showing up talking about, you know, I don't trust MJF. I know he's going to be here. What are we thinking about? Nothing. This is the best that they came up with. I just gave you some solid stuff there as a storyline to string along throughout the entire show. And they got 5 geeks, 5 indie guys singing "We Hurt People." Great. It's a real cartoonish way to fucking get me to care about the Hurt Syndicate.
I mean, just so I'm assuming Cedric Alexander is still coming in.
You would think so, yes. I don't think they would allow that not to happen.
Right. So that is something that should be unfolding soon.
Yeah.
And I when they have that ace up their sleeve, I'm just so confused about what they're doing here. Are they going to bring in Cedric and then say we have our new member and screw you, MJF, you're out of here?
It's a possibility.
That would be. I mean, it's a possibility. But now that makes them certified heels and makes MJF a babyface. Or maybe we get the 3 thumbs up, and on the night that we get the 3 thumbs up, they kind of spring it on MJF that they added a new member, and it wasn't him. And Cedric comes out and gives the thumbs down. Right. But now, what? So now MJF's a babyface again
for another week. Yeah.
With the Hurt Syndicate
for another week. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. I don't see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean about trying to fix the booking that they already started. It is hard trying to fix what they started. Me, I wouldn't have started this. I don't have anything to do with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate if I'm writing. This doesn't need to be. There's so many other things that MJF should be doing. Matter of fact, wasn't he intertwined with Hangman when he came? I mean, I don't understand why they started down this road. But now they
interacted last week. How much interaction did they have this week? 0. Why do something last week and then not even follow up with it this week? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around. I don't understand their logic when they started booking this shit. How are they going? What is their exit strategy for this? It seems like whatever payoff they come up with is going to be a huge logic gap. going right through it.
Samoa Joe and the Ops, Katsuyori Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs, they had a match tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why we just can't get some really well-written dialogue. Why did we need these guys against Nick Camarato, Rhett Titus, and Miles Hawkins? Why was this necessary? Does the audience not believe that the Ops are badass? Do we need any more confirmation that they're all fucking badass dudes? Like, seriously.
Because this is their whole division, I guess. They were just crowned the new trios champions. How about we get 2 other sets of trios out there? Let them compete to see who's going to be the next contender for the champions. Why do we need the Ops out there facing jobbers?
Bro, why can't we just have Samoa Joe come out and do what he does best? And that's cut a fucking promo that makes you feel. How about that? You mean to tell me the people that run this fucking company couldn't come up with dialogue for Samoa Joe to go out there and spew a promo for 3 minutes? Shoot the shit for 3 minutes. Couldn't do that. Did we need him to fucking go out there and wrestle tonight?
Yeah, we got a promo from Joe on Saturday.
This match lasted 3 minutes. I'll give you one guess who won.
The jobbers.
The jobbers won, yes. They won a trip right to the fucking showers. After the match, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio attacked the Ops as they were celebrating their win. Oh, my goodness. Joe and Mox fought up the ramp. Joe put Moxley in a sleeper, but Joe let go to run to the ring to try and save Shibata from Claudio, who slammed him on the back end of a chair just like he did to Hook. So, as that happened, he let go of Moxley. He goes to the ring. By the time he got to the ring, it was too late because they had bailed already. Joe asked for a microphone. He finally did cut a promo. I don't know why this didn't happen in the beginning of the fucking match. So he says Moxley likes to act like a boss, but he more often acts like a bitch.
Oh.
Yes, everybody's stealing Okada's gimmick. I know.
Okada doesn't even do it anymore now. What the hell?
He suggested that their title match be contested inside of a steel cage at Beach Break.
Okay.
So that's it.
I'm with it.
More of the same here. Match happens. Death Riders come out for a very fundamental and very simplistic attack like we usually see. No story was forwarded here at all. We knew the match was happening anyway because they announced it last week. And we get a steel cage match now as an added stipulation. You know, Jesse, steel cages are supposed to keep people out of the cage.
Right. So
I would be a betting man to say that does not happen.
No. They can't get in the cage, dummy, because the cage stops people from getting inside. Jeez.
Sure thing, man. And Stephanie Vaquer is coming over fucking tomorrow, man. We're going out for afternoon cocktails. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, man. I'm proud of you. Enjoy.
I know. I wish that was happening. Renee, she sat down with a Mercedes Moné interview. She asked about her global mission. She showed off her various title belts. She said the Hart family is very special to her. But the Owen Hart tournament is about her and not them. She's tired of being undefeated. Renee says she's 25-0 in singles matches. She took a dig at Jamie Hayter for having a Scooby-Doo style. She said a champion cannot wrestle like a cartoon. Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob! Ready? Man, oh man, bro. As if we didn't know that Jamie Hayter was a fucking cartoon mixed with something out of Austin Powers. International spy of mystery, man.
I don't even know why. Like, she didn't have the gimmick. She got hurt, came back with it. No explanation. Like, why? Did anyone complain about Jamie Hayter's gimmick before her injury?
Nobody.
Why?
Jamie was being Jamie, man. That's the real Jamie hater, man. Like, she's come back. She looks so healthy, man. She looks so happy. She looks ridiculous. She looks ridiculous.
There was nothing wrong with the Jamie hater package. The only thing that was wrong with it is that she got hurt. So all we needed was for her to get better and get back on TV. That's it. We didn't need new outfits. We didn't need new move sets. We didn't need to put her at the back of the line and debut her at the pre-show. All of that shit was extra and unnecessary. All we needed was for her to get healthy and get back on TV and let the fans continue to cheer her. Period. I don't know how we got here.
I don't know. So the build to their match, bro, will be based off of Scooby-Doo.
Basically, yes.
Do we see Mercedes do an impersonation of Thelma? Do we see the Mystery Machine? Do we see a puppet from Harley as Scooby or Scrappy?
I don't think Mercedes could fill out a Velma outfit.
What are you talking about? Yes, you could.
Nah.
No?
Maybe I'm thinking about the sick, perverted Velma outfits I've been seeing on social media.
I don't know what Thelma you're watching, bro. Seriously.
They're out there. They're out there.
You on the hub, bro?
No, Twitter.
Just
Same
as
thing, but
just as bad.
It's just as
In
bad.
certain pockets, if you go look hard enough, it's just as
pretty
bad.
much. They're out there. Y'all know. Y'all seen them. The Velma and Daphne backside pics that they enhanced. They are out there.
I don't know. We'll see. Renee, busy woman, from Mercedes to Christian Cage in the patriarchy. She interviewed Christian, Nick Wayne, Mother Wayne, and Kip Sabian backstage. Renee asked Nick what it means to represent AEW in New Japan. Christian said he'd appreciate all questions directed at him. Jay Lethal walked in, and apparently he got lost. I don't know where he came. Maybe he was looking for catering, bro, and he stumbled upon Renee. Jay Lethal walked in and told Nick he is young. He has a lot to learn and a lot to prove. He challenged him to a match. Nick says he's not warmed up and really focused on the best of the Super Juniors right now, so no. Christian then accepted on Nick Wayne's behalf. Nick looked a little bothered by this. Christian told him to go get his head in the game.
I like this.
Why did you like this?
Because it continues the Christian Cage has a problem, but he's going to pretend like he doesn't by just adding on things to Nick Wayne's plate.
Is he setting Nick Wayne up to fail?
And he's trying so hard, and Nick Wayne keeps succeeding.
I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of think I see where they're going with it. But again, I just don't know how they're gonna turn Christian Cage babyface like this, though.
I don't know how they're going to turn him babyface. As long as they don't change his character.
That's what I'm worried about.
I don't trust this writing team, bro.
Yeah.
They'll have him coming out there smiling, doing the fucking pose and doing the fucking thing with his hand, looking at the peeps. No, come on.
Had the big glasses on.
Fuck out of here. Nobody wants to see that in 2025, man. I want fucking Christian to continue talking shit about people's dead fathers, even as a babyface, okay?
Oh, that's so good.
Tony Storm. She had an eliminator match tonight against Miyu Yamashita. Is that how you pronounce it, Jesse? Yamashita?
No.
Yamashita?
No. Yes.
Yamashita.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. Kind of like Takeshita. Yes.
Okay. I don't want to get canceled in some fucking weird, bizarre way on social media because
JD is racist. He pronounced Miyu and her name wrong, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe he has the platform he does, man. JD from NY 206.
Well, it's a little bit hard to pronounce, and we're trying to get it right, and we did.
Who is that?
Who's what?
Miyu.
What?
You know who she is? Miyu?
Oh no, I know she was here before, but I don't not familiar with her work other than the couple of times she showed up here.
You know, they tried to give us a video package on why this match was happening, and I just rolled my eyes at it like...
Well, I took a note for that video package because...
Did you?
So the video package was fine, but placement. I mean, you give us this video package 13 seconds before she's getting ready to come out and have the match. Maybe we should have did it last week and gave it some build up. So then when the live audience is sitting there, they've already seen this hype package. Everybody sitting in that crowd had no idea who she was. They watched the same package the same time as we did. You want them to react though.
You mean to tell me, Jesse, that on Collision, where they drew 707,000 viewers on Saturday night, man, which is complete bullshit, they didn't give you a video package on Miyu Yamashita against Tony Storm?
I want to say no.
No, okay.
But don't quote me on that, because if they tacked it in at the beginning or the end of a commercial break, maybe I zipped by and missed it because I didn't watch the show live.
I have a very, very, very important question, Jesse, to ask you as a follow-up.
Yeah.
Did you care?
No.
I wish I had the Jeopardy theme queued up. I might have to add that to the soundboard.
It wasn't like it was Mina.
Oh, Mina. Man. Yeah, Mina's on Ring of Honor now, bro.
Is she?
Yeah. She left Japan to wrestle on Ring of Honor.
What the F and H, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still timeless.
Guantanamo Bay, bro. I mean, she's friends with Mariah, who's now lusting after Paul Levesque. So
yeah,
she's now buried until further notice.
There you go.
Miyu, bro. Miyu. Who?
Come on. Chad is still complaining that I'm timeless. We got to get to the Tony Storm.
Miyu.
Storm stuff.
Miyu. Yamashita, bro. I didn't give a fuck. I mean, who cares? I look at this audience and I feel sad. I feel sad for people who watch this and enjoy this. I really do. Now you can enjoy whatever the fuck you want, man. I got my quirks. I got my interests. Bro, this is. Who gives a fuck about this? Who? What does this do? What does this mean? Why should I care? Who gives a fuck? She came out, bro, and I swear to God, man, instant, man. Grab a pillow, grab a blanket, time to go to bed.
You know, if you went to an Alter Bridge concert, I would genuinely hope that you enjoyed yourself and had a good time. Even though it means nothing to me. I don't like Alter Bridge. But I would still hope that you enjoyed yourself. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Are we really comparing the talented Alter Bridge to Miyu Yamashita?
Do you understand what a comparison means? If
that's not a good one.
It's
I'm sorry.
Different.
I'm sorry. It's not a good one.
Different. I hate people think, no, it's kind of like this. Like, oh, are you comparing this? I'm telling you that it's similar in the sense of you enjoy this, they enjoy this. Do you understand?
But I feel sad when I watch something like this wrestle. I don't feel or something like this take place on a wrestling show. I don't feel sad when I listen to Alter Bridge.
But someone else might.
I don't know how you could.
You understand?
All I gotta do is mention, that's the Judgment Day's theme song, man. Oh yeah, I like that song. The Other Side's a great song. That's Adam Copeland's. Oh, I know those guys. That's great. It's a great band, man. Come on, man.
No, I hear you, man. But I don't understand how they expect people to pop for her, give her the reaction that they feel she deserves when they don't put forth the effort to at least train the audience to try to give a shit.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, falling asleep just thinking about this. Fucking Christ. Who cares? Like who cares? Yeah, I can't wait to listen to some geek on social media fucking dissect this match for 20 minutes. Oh my God, Miyu! Oh my God, man! She's great. The kicks. Did you see the kicks? Oh my God, the precision. She's so great, man. She would do so well coming over here to America from where'd she come from? Stardom?
I think so. or CMLL. I don't know. No idea.
Oh, Chad, where'd she come from, man? Where did she come from, man? Pro Wrestling, no, where'd she come from? I don't.
No clue. But we digress.
Imagine Tony getting on the fucking phone and fucking talking to Will Washington about this show. Yeah, who we need on this show, man? Let's call Miyu. Who? Me. You. No, me. No, you. Miyu.
Oh my God.
Goodbye. Who won? Who won, Jesse?
Tony Storm won. What are you talking
Okay. How'd she win?
How did she win? She won with the was it Storm Zero?
She did?
I don't remember. I don't remember
Good
if it was
job.
Storm Zero or something else.
Good job. Good job. You got it right. Look at that. You got it right. You got it right, man. You know what was the one thing I remembered about this match, man? The Sweet Chic music. Actually, two things I remembered about this match. One, the Sweet Chic music that Tony delivered to Miyu. Brutal. And Miyu actually got a nice palm, bro. Nice slap on the assets of Tony Storm.
Got a couple of them, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
God, I mean,
Yeah.
man.
Welcome to America, Miyu.
Wouldn't mind being her, man.
Yeah. Who cares? Then they wonder why their ratings are in the fucking toilet. 520,000 fucking on Thursday morning. It's great. This. Mercedes came out. She struts out after the match and tells Virginia to shut up and say hello to their CEO. Monet, after she beats Hater at the final of the Owen, she's coming for what's hers, the AEW Women's title. Darling. Sure. Thanks for spoiling the match for us, Mercedes. Jamie's music hits and she decks Monet from behind. She wanted a haterade, but Monet ducked. And she ran away in the most embarrassing way possible and just ran away from the Scooby-Doo cartoon-like Jamie Hayter, bro.
Wow.
Why are you now just black and white and the whole screen is not black and white?
I changed that shit up, bro.
Good. That looks that actually looks a lot better.
Yeah, this was the original filter, but
Yeah.
then in the last update Elgato gave us,
Nah.
they gave us the ability to do it all.
Nah, that's awful. Nah, it's no.
Well, okay. Yeah, we can do that one right there.
Chat.
When Tony comes out, everything is black and white though, not
Chat.
just her.
Well, I mean, sure. Chat, did you care about this match? No? Okay, moving on. Hurt Syndicate, they voted down again on MJF.
Well, it was sideways for about
Darling.
3.5 minutes. They were the bar.
Yes, they were the bar. We don't raise the bar. We are the bar. They were a great tag team.
Yeah.
Hurt Syndicate made their way to the ring, and MVP brings up, in order to bring in another member, they must give 3 thumbs up. So we're just going to try this again. And they invite MJF to the ring. So like last week, MJF puts over Shelton, and he's the gold standard. MVP, and then Bob. Asking if the crowd, or asking if he had a good car ride in the beautiful ride that he gave him last week. MVP immediately wants to get to the vote. MVP and Benjamin both give a quick thumbs up. Lashley kind of toys with it. I mean, there was just like, it was like a good 90 seconds, Jesse. He had his thumb in the middle and he was raising it. Oh, I thought he was going to give the thumbs up, and then he ends up giving a thumbs down. He gives him a thumbs down. So MJF is obviously upset. MJF says he's about sick of Bob's shit and asks what he wants. MJF has given him women, cars, helped him win matches. A match, not matches, a match. And asked if all he wants, or asked if he wants Rogaine, and he needs Rogaine, and called him a big, bald son of a bitch. Rogaine because he's bald.
Yep.
Lashley grabs MJF by the face. He backs him in the corner. MJF is screaming for MVP to save him. Bitch. Don't like it. Lashley said if MJF wants to prove himself, then he has to hurt people like they do. MJF looked terrified. The Hurt Syndicate walks off. Bobby Lashley glanced again at MJF in the ring, and he wanted to even go back out there and attack MJF. But MVP held him back as they leave through the tunnel. We talked about this in the beginning of the show. I mean, to me, this was the only semblance of real story on this show today. MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate at this point doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. That they've reached the peak of this. The peak was last week. The car. The peak before that was the hose. MJF's whole train. There is no other peak to this. It's either he joins and we go down, and the quality of the storyline goes down. What are they going to do? What are they going to do together? Or he betrays them and says, I'm sick of this shit. I'm not me. You're toying with me too much. He's got his own groove. He attacks them and attacks Bob, and we move on to whatever's next. There's no in between here, Jesse.
I feel like this whole storyline with MJF trying to get into the Hurt Syndicate would have worked better with someone probably close to anyone else. Someone else lower on the card. It doesn't have to be a main eventer like this, man. No. It could have been a Kevin Knight. It could have been a Kevin Knight trying to get into the Hurt Syndicate and them dragging him along, stringing him along, draining him for everything, and then kicking him to the curb when Cedric Alexander showed up, leading to Kevin Knight being a bigger babyface.
What about Ricochet? Why didn't they do this with Ricochet?
Because Ricochet needs to stay heel, for sure. Absolutely. He cannot go back to babyface. And I think when the Hurt Syndicate kicks whoever they're trying to string along, when they finally kick them out, that person needs to be in the position to become a babyface and then feud with the Hurt Syndicate. You do it with the Ricochet and he gets kicked out. Now we have to cheer Ricochet? Fuck that. No.
I don't know where this is going. I don't. They really need to get to the next stage of this. Hopefully that happens next week, and we get some clarity on this. We need to. We're going into May. We're going to need a sense of where we're going into Double or Nothing. And I do think that FTR, they mentioned the tag team championships. They want those tag team championships back. That's why they're enlisting Stokely. So I'm assuming that's where they are going next. And that's exactly what we got. We got footage of last week, and Stokely Hathaway up next, joining up with FTR, and a video package was shown. Hathaway said in 2024 he was looking for a tag team, and now he's found one. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for in Private Party, Jesse.
Didn't find what he was looking for in Chris Statlander either.
He had Chris Statlander and Willow. He had Private Party. We got no explanation as to why he dropped all four individuals, bro. Not a single fucking explanation.
I don't know what he's looking for, but I don't know how he didn't find it in Chris Statlander.
I don't know. Hathaway said people have asked what a team like FTR would have to do with him. But look at what has happened in recent weeks with everyone they've taken out. FTR will cement their legacy and win back their AEW World Tag Team titles. There you go. Could be a look into the future as to why they showed this after the MJF segment with Hurt Syndicate. Could be. We'll see. Nick Wayne, he's the Ring of Honor TV champion. Not that anybody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
With the patriarchy against Jay Lethal. Nick Wayne walked out alone, but his entrance was cut off by his father, Christian Cage, who walked out with Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne. Taz even called Cage a douche because he's always been a douche. Now he's just a bigger douche. Lethal and Nick Wayne start the match. They trade headlock takedowns. We go into a commercial break with Lethal being driven into the steel steps. Lethal got in a couple of pin attempts after the commercial break. He connected on a lethal combination. He goes for cover. He gets a 2 count. Lethal went up top. He took too long. Nick Wayne cut him off, wanted a superplex, but Lethal fought free, and he successfully hits the elbow drop. And Nick caught him for a 2 off the elbow drop, which was pretty cool. Lethal tried lethal injection, which is his finish. Nick raked the eyes, roundhouse kick, fisherman buster, and he pins Jay Lethal. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Jay Lethal should be better off. I mean, Jay Lethal can't even find his way to television, so you see what position Jay Lethal is in on Tony Khan's shit list, but he's used as an enhancement talent. Post-match, Cage held onto the Ring of Honor TV title, and Nick tried to take it away, but Cage told him to turn around so he can put it on him. Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne applauded, as did Christian Cage, who smirked while giving a golf clap to his son before leaving through the tunnel. You may be right, Jess. I think he's setting him up to fail here.
He's trying.
Yeah.
He keeps winning. So I don't know what he got planned for the long run, but he clearly does not want to be there anymore. He's trying to alienate him from his own mother and Kip. I'm not sure what Kip is doing there. He's not doing anything at all. But you can tell that they're trying to find a way to get Christian Cage out, to get him with Cope. And I'm interested now just to see how they plan on doing that without causing some kind of weird dynamic in who's heel and who's babyface. This seems to be an ongoing problem with them. I mean, Nick Wayne is not going to be a babyface. He needs to stay heel, stay as the leader of the patriarchy, and get Christian Cage out. How do you do that?
I don't know.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, the Wrestling 101 tells me that Nick Wayne orders the beatdown of Christian Cage and he's kicked out of the faction.
Chat, do you want to know how bad this show was? Solid Monster only went 1 hour and 17 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're still going to.
Well, luckily we're at the main event.
There we go. Sweet. That is main event.
And this show is not boring, huh? Fuck out of here. It's one of the biggest podcasters in the fucking space. And this is what we're reduced to on a Wednesday night. 1 hour from Solid Monster? Fuck out of here, man. Holy shit. We went 3 times as long talking about fucking wrestling last night. Main event here. Mercifully. Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher. This was by far the best match of the night. This was the best pro wrestling match of the week and will be when the week is over. This was tremendous. Fantastic main event. Can't say enough good things about this. This is for the final. Winner of this gets the final at Double or Nothing against Will Ospreay for the Owen Hart Cup. So Page comes to the ring. He is very Page-like, very intense. And Kyle Fletcher's out there with Don Callis and one member of the Don Callis family only, and that is Lance Archer. He's the only member of the Don Callis family out there. I'm surprised he's still with the Don Callis family.
Same.
So we get the start of the match here, and Fletcher is mocking Adam Page. Page goes to the outside. He gets a hand on Fletcher. He spanked Fletcher, clocked him with a right hand. Quickly wanted a buckshot. Fletcher again went outside, only this time Page sprinted into the cameraman, clotheslining Fletcher over the barricade and into a commercial break here. We come back from break. Fletcher was bleeding from the lower back because Page threw him so hard into the LED barricade. So he's bleeding from that shot. And we saw the replay, and it didn't look as bad in the replay, but he ended up bleeding. We go back inside the ring. Page no-sold some kicks from Kyle Fletcher. He wanted a dead eye. Fletcher avoided, charged. He was turned inside out by a Page lariat. Big back body drop to Adam Page, who followed with a sliding lariat and caught a leaping Fletcher into a Death Valley driver. He tried to leapfrog him, and he got caught. Repeated corner clotheslines from Adam Page. It's a fallaway slam, sending Fletcher to the apron. Page connected with a springboard lariat. Page wanted the moonsault. Fletcher swept the leg out. Hits an enziguri, thrust kick. Brain buster on the apron. Didn't look as bad as he usually does it, but nonetheless, I don't get the moves on the apron all the time. Both are now on top of the barricade. Page slams Fletcher off. He does a moonsault off into a tombstone, and this visually looked great. So that happened. Then we go into a final commercial break. So we come back from the final commercial break. Page delivers a huge superplex. Both guys are down. Referee's administering his 10 count. They both get up. They trade kicks. Page swung for a big right hand. Fletcher connects with one of his own. Fletcher then comes back with a snap German suplex. He ran into a pop-up Liger bomb for 2. Page wanted Deadeye. Fletcher floated out of it. Big boot to the face. He wanted a power bomb of his own. Page flipped out, hits Deadeye. He goes for recovery, gets a 2. Page tried for the moonsault. Fletcher got the boots up to the face and hit a sit-out last ride for a near fall. Running corner boot connects by Fletcher. Page floated over a brainbuster into a sloppy-looking O'Connor roll for a 2. He then wanted buckshot, but Fletcher exploded with another charging boot. Both are on the apron again. This time, Page on the apron hits a deadeye. He then followed up with a huge moonsault, acai moonsault to the outside, right in front of the commentary desk. He wanted buckshot lariat. Fletcher shoved referee Paul Turner out of the way, and he delivered a low blow to Adam Page behind the referee's back quickly. He delivered his finishing brainbuster, and Page kicked out. Crowd popped for that. Nice spot. Callis got up off on commentary. He was yelling at Paul Turner, the referee, thinking that was a 3 count. Fletcher again hits a charging corner boot before taking Page up in the corner. Fletcher wanted his top rope brainbuster, but Page, he flips off the top rope, and he delivered a variation of the buckshot by flipping off the top rope and then quickly ran to the apron and delivered a second buckshot. This was a great finishing sequence, and Adam Page pins Kyle Fletcher. 1, 2, 3. He goes to the finals. He goes to Double or Nothing. He gets Will Ospreay. Tremendous main event, and nothing happened at the end. We got no swerve. There's no MJF. There's no shenanigans. There's no other members of the Don Callis family out there. Clean as a whistle, Jesse. And Adam Page advances to Double or Nothing.
There you go. There's the story.
That's it, bro. Nothing else, man. There's nothing else to say, huh?
There's your story. It's a great match.
Great match.
The
Got a great wrestling exhibition here for the Graps, right?
Yeah, the outcome is pretty much what we wanted. Yeah. We wanted the Hangman. You know, we got the Hangman, and we're all happy, right?
There you go. There you go. Right? Yeah. And that ends a painfully dull episode of AEW Dynamite.
Very dull.
Very dull. Very boring.
So, looks like we get no Collision Corner tonight.
I don't know. What is with you guys, man? The show was so fucking bad that you don't want Collision Corner. We got another 220 or so likes for Collision Corner, man. You can't get 1,000 likes for Collision Corner?
Man.
You mean to tell me you wasted this man's work? You wasted his time to watch Collision for you?
Man, what do we do here, man? I don't know. Do we just...
listen.
I feel like if we just give it to him, I feel like that takes away the credibility of having him do the 1,000 thumbs up. Because we're just going to do it anyway.
No, we're not giving him nothing.
But I did a whole lot of work here.
You can't give him the Collision Corner, Jesse. You got to teach him a lesson.
Okay, let's go through the Super Chats. Maybe they can pick it up. Maybe they can pick it up during the Super Chats. Let's do this, man.
Collision next week. We're looking at Brody King versus Josh Alexander on Collision, Jesse. From Atlantic City. I may be there. Another loss for Brody King, bro. Oh, my goodness.
Fucking L. What the fuck? Come on.
And Timeless. Tony Storm goes one-on-one with Lady Frost.
She's going to bury the indies now.
This fucking show sounds like a Lady Frost. Holy shit. Anyway. There you go. That's your Dynamite review, folks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be incredibly disappointed with you guys if you don't get 1,000 likes for this guy to do Collision Corner.
Come on, guys.
We got 2,000 people in here. You tell me you can't get 1,000 likes.
Come on, guys. There we go. I just did my thumbs up. There we go.
Come on.
There we go. Come on, guys.
Who? Lady Frost? Sounds like she froze the creative process, too. Maybe she's got mythical powers we don't know of.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark, both on X and on YouTube. And go check out all the content on the channel. There's plenty of it. Got some great content. TNT last night with the Solomon. You know, next week, Jesse, is Jason's 1-year anniversary on TNT.
I thought we passed it already.
No, next week.
It's coming up.
Coming up. 1 year of the Solomon Monster on TNT, bro. You believe that?
Been like a year already.
It's great.
Man, you get older time.
The best two-man power trip in the community, man. Bar none.
There you go, man. Shout out to Jason. That's awesome.
Let's get into your super chats. I got a new game to play, man. I bought that Expedition 33 on PS5.
Not me. I bought Forza Horizon.
That's lame.
Kidding me? What? Since you don't like racing games. Is that
No.
what it is?
No.
Okay.
Am I missing anything on Destiny, by the way? No, right?
So you don't like racing games. That's what it is.
What is with these chess pieces, bro? Do I need to go collect these chess pieces for any reason or no?
Forza Horizon.
Yes, I understand. I'm talking about chess. Destiny 2, the game.
I'm not playing chess.
Okay.
I'm
Where's Triple M?
He's in the chat.
Is he? Bro,
Yeah.
do I need to go collect these chess pieces for any reason? What do I get, an emblem?
I don't want to play chess, bro. I mean, Bungie has lost me with this bullshit. I don't want to play chess. I don't want to go fishing. I just want to shoot things and get rewards for it. That's it. That's it. Easy.
Yeah, me too. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. JD, Jesse, OTS. How is everyone? Let's go. Yeah. I got something for Michael. Because this is what we do every week. Yep. It's Michael Krause. Jason Correa with a $9.99. Hey, JD. What's up? I know how you feel. I had trouble getting a Switch 2 from Target and Walmart, but I was able to get one from Best Buy. I hope you get one. Jason, thank you, brother. I'm glad you got one. We got one. We got one because our VIP here on the channel, Dovey, who has supported tremendously over the years, she got, I hope she got one for herself, but she supposedly got an extra Switch, and when June 5th comes, she's sending one our way with Mario Kart.
There you go.
There you go.
How can you just hit up FOMO, man?
I could. She had trouble getting it too. She had to go through somebody else.
Yeah, but she did come out though.
I could. Jason with the $4.99. Hey JD, Jesse, this Saturday is my 45th birthday. I hope I will be able to celebrate it the way that I want. You better fucking make it the way you want, Jason. 45 is a big number, bro. You're halfway to 50. 115 likes for Collision Corner, folks. 115 likes. Can we do it?
I think you know how math
Who? I'm terrible at math, bro.
works. 45 is halfway to 50. You are terrible at math.
What are you talking about? 115 likes for Collision Corner.
No, you said 45 is half.
I said 45 is 45. Did I say halfway to 50?
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what I meant, though.
45 is halfway to 90.
Yes, he's halfway to 50, though. He's halfway through his 40s. That's what I meant.
I know.
Fucking dumbass. Joey Taylor, $5 super chat. JD, Jesse, did you see Sean Ross Sapp report that
Nope.
the Kala is expected to land and sign? Who? Sign with AEW? Who the fuck is that, bro? Thekla? Thekla? Who is that? And why should I care? What are they going to do? They got Megan Bain. What the fuck do you think they're going to do with her?
So it's a lady? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Best in the world, Matt, with a 20 bomb. Enough with the Joshi wrestlers in random matches on US TV. Nobody cares. Same idea for 5 years now since the start of the company. This is coming from a Japanese pro wrestling fan who likes a good Joshi match now and then. It meant nothing, bro. It meant nothing, Matt. I agree.
I got it. If we don't get to 1,000, I will keep Collision Corner and I'll record a video and upload it.
There you go. Great. Glow J with a new membership and a $5 super chat. Actually, no, she's not a new member because it says 3 months here. I don't know what the fuck is going on there.
They still have not fixed it.
No. Glow J with a 5. That first match was way too long. I went into the kitchen and made dinner and it was still going on. Death Riders are so played out. Stop, Tony. Enough. Jeez. And then she says, hey, Jesse. Hey, JD. Love you guys. Thank you, Glow J. Darksider NYC said he saw Thekla on X smoking a joint. It's great. Maybe she could connect with Sandman and Joey Janela and drink a couple of Budweisers.
Somebody saying they can't hear me. Your music might be drowning me out now. That is a thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Maybe.
Would you rather hear Stryker or Jesse?
You just kind of even it out some so they can hear both.
Glow J, thank you.
No, it's not my volume, guys. It's not me. It's the music is drowning me out.
Dylan with a 20. I know I'm wishful thinking here, but is there a chance at all we could get Wardlow and MJF versus Lashley and Benjamin? I know that doesn't make much sense at all, but I feel like this could help Wardlow get back on television.
Just add on to the other logic gaps on the show. Sure, why not?
I don't see that happening, bro. I think Wardlow is forever banished in the dungeons of Guantanamo Bay. We got a 199 and a 199 from Blah. It's for the Pinnacle to reunite and FTR to win. MJF hates rejection. He told you so. It's revenge. I hope you're right. We need 80 more likes for Collision Corner. 80 more likes. Billy. What's up, brother? 33 months. Remember the Inner Circle? MJF will reform the Pinnacle with FTR and Wardlow, who was backstage tonight. I can see the Pinnacle versus the Hurt Business.
They just brought him backstage so people will report that he was backstage.
It's great. I'm sure Cultaholic will make a 20-minute video on Wardlow being backstage.
Yep.
Bodie McBoatface with a $10 super chat. If MJF joins the Hurt Business, how does that get him closer to the title? If he stabs them in the back, how does that get him closer to the title? Why not enter the Owen and try to join the Hurt Business?
No clue.
Bodie McBoatface. Listen, bro, I'm gonna have to kick you out of here, bro. You're making way too much sense, bro.
No, you gotta go.
Listen, but we got to get him out of here, man. This is not the zone for logical booking. I'm sorry.
No. You
gotta get him out. Can't be making them look bad, bro. Or you may end up in Guantanamo Bay, wherever Wardlow is.
Yeah, really.
Tone C. Just got home from AC/DC. What a great show. OTS for life, baby. I'm surprised they're still alive.
That's probably a fun show.
Oh, yeah?
That's probably a fun show, yeah.
Mr. Noob. Mr. Noob with the 10 months. You keep saying all these guys are great wrestlers, but in-ring work is half the job. If you can't inspire me to give a shit, you're not a great wrestler. Listen, Mr. Noob, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you at all. The average wrestler does not write their own creative. And if someone else writes poor creative for you, how does that make you a bad wrestler? It makes them
Bro, do you want to be remembered and forgotten and you die and leave the industry and nobody gives a fuck about you, or do you want to create a lasting impression and a memory and memorable moments and make history? What do you want to do, bro?
You got to go out there and deal with the hand you are dealt. And if you are not in this industry to make money and main event WrestleMania and win multiple world championships, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here. Look, Austin, everybody can't main event WrestleMania.
Well, that should be the goal.
That should be the goal, but Pineapple Pete is never going to main event WrestleMania, so he needs to make best of the hand. And
most of the guys on AEW's roster, bro, when they are retired, man, they will be quickly forgotten about without a lasting impression made.
Yep.
Triple M, $2 super chat. He says, "I hate chess."
Oh God, I am not playing that shit, man.
And Richard,
I can like chess.
I can play chess. I don't like it.
Me too.
Richard Cohn with it too. Hey JD, that shit was so damn boring. Yes, I agree. All right, we didn't reach the goal, bro. What do you want to do?
All right, so what is today?
Start the song.
What's today? Tomorrow, I'll put something up tomorrow, and put Collision Corner in it and make it a sustainable video or a live stream or something. I'll figure something out.
Should make it into a short. Just make it into a short, man. YouTube now upped shorts on YouTube to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I could just do a short to it too, but I gotta edit up the shorts.
You gotta put text over it.
Yeah, that's true. I'll figure it out. We'll do it. Join my channel. We'll get Collision Corner.
Highly disappointed in you guys, man. Not 1,000 likes for Collision Corner. You wasted this guy's time this week.
Yeah, you get like 2,400 too.
No, we didn't have 2,400 tonight.
We did? Yes, we did.
No, did we?
Yeah, at one point, yeah, we did.
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get there. I'm gonna finish watching the rest of this Lakers game.
Yeah, we're about to get out of here. I appreciate you guys very much, man. Thank you for listen, man. We made do with what we were given tonight, man, which was a painfully boring and dull show like usual, man. There's just no excitement. There's no reason to care. They are fucking ice cold, and there's no better than me and Jesse to cover this shit because we've been doing it for 5.5 years. Come on now. Thank you guys for a great stream, man. I appreciate all the support. We are looking at the second best month of April that we've ever had, and let's keep it going into May, bro. Let's keep it going into May. Thank you again. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys go check out all the content on the channel. There's plenty of it. TNT. Next week is coming up. Jason's 1-year anniversary, episode 94. We're going to have some whiskey. I'm making an old-fashioned next week. We're going to celebrate. So join us then. Go check out yesterday's episode on the channel, Monday Night Raw. And then, obviously, I will be back again with Friday Night SmackDown here on Friday. Thank you guys again. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. All that stuff helps us out. And I will see you back again live right here on Friday for the SmackDown post right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.